Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Ball Knower podcast. I'm your host, as always, David Miller, joined today by my wonderful co-host, as always, Mr. Andrew Watkins. And Andrew, do you know what today is? Because today's a very special day.
President's Day.
That's not what I was going for, but yes, it is President's Day.
Does it so happen to be? Oh God, I'm sweating.
Do you just want me to tell you?
Is it? It's not your birthday.
No, my birthday's. You're good. You didn't forget my birthday.
Woo!
So you got a couple days. You're good.
Okay, I was gonna be like, that's the one that I was worried about.
No, I wouldn't hype up my birthday like that. I'm not that much of a narcissist.
What is today?
Today is the 30th episode of the Ball Knower podcast.
Wow,
30.
that's upsetting. That is.
That is a way lower number than it should be.
It's been a year and 2 months, and we're 30
Yeah.
episodes in.
And how many weeks are in a year?
52.
Yes, so we're 22 episodes short. Over 22 episodes.
Yeah, over 22 episodes.
We
at
should be at
least.
like episode 60 by now.
Yep. Ooh.
I saw that because like before we record, I have to like name the stream room or whatever. So I was just name it whatever episode. So I remember when I go to title the video, and I went to YouTube today, and it was 29. I was like, oh, yeah,
God.
yeah. So this is episode 30, and we're gonna talk about some stuff
Yep.
and some things. But first, Andrew, I gotta ask you a question. Thoughts?
Good.
Can you see what kind it is? Is that coming through?
I can like kind of see the top. It's chocolate chip. I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best kind.
That's true. Okay, here's another one for you. Thoughts?
On the figure or the show?
Either or, honestly.
The figure's kind of cool. The show's great. The show's fantastic.
Okay. I'm glad you respect Bluey. I got 2 Bluey figures on my desk because my sisters got them for me for Christmas. But Bluey goes hard.
Unnecessarily.
It goes unnecessarily hard. The dad from Bluey, Bandit, is the greatest dad in all of fiction.
Yep.
There is no debate, no competition. The show goes, as I said, unnecessarily hard.
Yep.
I guess as you said, and then I stole.
Yeah, it's fine.
I apologize. But anyways, I didn't actually have a question. That was just kind of what happened.
Yep.
My sister's doing TikTok dances in the corner for some reason. But anyways, we're going to move on. Andrew wanted to talk about the All-Star game. So go ahead, jump into it.
Well, I wanted to talk about some like problems with it, as always. A lot of people are saying that it's like the worst All-Star game
Mm-hmm.
in a long time. And that's definitely what it's been trending towards. I mean, like, blame it on people not wanting to get injured, blame it on the fact that like it's just another game in their season.
Mm-hmm.
But like players just don't want to play it. It's like bowl games for football in college. It's like, why would we want to play it and risk injury if we could just save our bodies for one more game? And I think that has a lot to do with like analytics, like a lot like with in terms of like wrestling players and what's it called?
Load management.
Load management, yeah.
Look at me whipping out the basketball terminology. I'm learning.
And that's the thing. It's a basketball term. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't see people doing that in football.
No, but in football they also don't have to play 82
That's
games.
I was
in
gonna
the
say that,
regular
and
season.
that's the reason. Unfortunately, analytics are showing that like playing as many games as like playing 82 games is like in terms of health is not a good thing. especially if you're playing at the highest level like that. And then if you play in the All-Star game, that's 83 games. A lot of these stars don't want to deal with it, but they want to play in the game, of course. So they play in the game and they don't give it any effort.
Yeah.
And that leads to the most boring games you can possibly imagine.
And that's not even accounting for the playoffs. Like, it's the all-star game, so it's going to be the best players in the league playing. And if you're a guy like Tatum or Booker, LeBron, whoever, you're probably going to make a deep playoff run. Maybe not LeBron. Hopefully not LeBron. But the other two, they're going to make deep playoff runs. And when that happens, you're going to be playing 4 or 5, 6, maybe 7 extra games 2-3 times. So that adds an extra 20 games. There's guys that could be playing over 100 games of basketball in a year, and that is fucking absurd.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's just way too much. Like, I've never been one to hate on a player for load management or sitting out, whether it's for physical health, mental health, even the strain that can cause. Now, obviously, shortening the season, I mean, I would do it. I think that's the best course of action, but there's obviously arguments against that with the fact that single season records are going to stand forever at that point, given the fact that, you've got guys that can't hit these records now. You take 20, 30 games away from them, there's no chance they do, or it'll sway titles and sway career statistics and things like that. Like, yeah, that sucks, but at the end of the day, these guys are going harder. These guys are playing against more physically demanding competition, so to speak. I wouldn't say tougher necessarily. I can't do the 90s like that, but you're objectively speaking, you're dealing with bigger, faster, stronger athletes, and that takes a big toll on your body. And again, too, the mental side of things. We live in a society where mental health is starting to be taken seriously, especially mental health of men and athletes. And these guys want to take a game off, a week off, whatever, to get their head right, do stuff with their family. Like, that's fine. I've never seen a problem with it, but it is definitely resulting in a lesser product, especially when it comes to the All-Star game. Because like you said, there's no real motivation to it. You don't play defense in it, so it's just kind of like who can do the coolest thing. And even then, people don't want to do those cool things because, I don't know, maybe they're thinking about Derrick Rose in the back of their mind. They're like, do I really want to jump for this 360 dunk and tear my ACL? Or do I want to be like layup, And nobody wants to watch an All-Star game that's just like 60 layups with no defense. This is not basketball at that point. That's just a bunch of guys shooting around at the gym.
Yeah.
And it's a mess, And then you look at some of the other All-Star events too, like the dunk contest. Nobody wanted to do the dunk contest. Like, they asked people. I think John Morant specifically said, "There's no chance I'm doing the dunk contest." I know he was asked about it. The 3-point contest, people, that one's not quite as bad, but you have people like who was it this year? Julius Randle that got in and completely shit the bucket. The skills competition's a mess.
It's
that was
such a dumb thing to do, dude.
I don't think it's a dumb thing. I just think the gimmicks they're trying to do with it now are dumb. Like the Antetokounmpo bros and just Team Nuggets or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Team Rookie. Like, that's goofy. I would say, if anything, just make it team based, like big threes. Ask all the best big threes in the league. Send, God, who are even good big threes at this point? I'm so out of it in basketball. Send Zach, DeMar, and Vooch.
That's the first big three I think of.
No, the Nuggets, they don't have a big three, do they?
It'd be like Jokic. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, KD.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and KD. Yep. Harden, Embiid, and like Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I guess so.
LeBron, Anthony Davis, and
D'Angelo Russell now.
Oh yeah, deloading went there. Okay, yeah, there you go. Do stuff like that, or do like, I don't know. Team Rookie was fine, and I guess the Antetokounmpo brothers is fine together. But just like, I don't know. It's goofy. I would prefer it if they just did a bunch of really good big threes.
Yeah.
But either way, hold on one second. Either way, the All-Star break is a mess. I agree completely. And it does come down, I think, to shortening the season or shortening the playoffs or something like that. I guess the playoffs are fine. It's shortening the season that needs to happen. Because that way guys are more well rested and they'll be willing to do the fun, goofy shit rather than, going to do whatever it is they do. And the same thing's kind of happening in the NFL, but for different reasons. Just because the Pro Bowl is a complete sham and they turned it into a touch football game or a flag football game or whatever. Yeah. But I think I do. Maybe they just get rid of the game itself and replace it with different festivities. I know that's something people have considered doing. Do like a 3-on-3 tournament or something.
Like the 1-on-1 tournaments that I've seen, that'd be so sick, dude.
That would be really cool. And guys would do that because that's bragging rights. That matters.
Yeah.
Like, damn well if LeBron gets in a 1-on-1 tournament, he's going to go hard as hell because his ego couldn't handle losing. Or Curry's going to go hard as hell, or Dame, or whoever.
Yeah.
And, like, I saw, too, Adam Silver said he's trying to trying to change how they pick the teams to get rid of the, like, last man standing thing, where, like, a player gets picked last. And that's so goofy, because, like, you want them to pick the teams. That's a cool concept. But it's gym class.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be the worst out of the All-Stars, and that's okay. They're still a multi-million-dollar athlete. And I don't think their feelings are going to be hurt too much. Like, I know I was just talking about mental health, and now I'm acting like it's not a big deal. I don't think it's going to kill them if they're the last guy picked for the All-Star game. I don't think anyone cares about it that much.
Yeah, last guy picked for the All-Star game.
Right, All-Star. You're still one of the, what would it be? How many players get picked for the All-Star game? 13 on each side?
Yeah, you'd be like a top 35 player now because you like the subs and stuff.
Yeah. So, who cares? Like if Larry, I don't know if it actually would have been him, but I'm use him as an example. If Larry Markkanen's the last guy standing, I don't think he's going to be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to be happy to be there. Yeah. And then he's going to go play shitty basketball for, 15 minutes or however long they let the bench guys play. It's goofy. But we got to talk about the dunk contest. Because that, like I said earlier, is the biggest mess, I think.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to do it.
Mac McClung isn't even playing in the NBA.
He isn't?
He's I think he's a G Leaguer for...
That's crazy.
I don't even know if he's on the Lakers G League or where he is.
I think he's with the Sixers. He wore a Sixers jersey during the dunk contest.
Yeah, Sixers G League, and then you got Jericho Sims, who's like the 14th man on the Knicks.
Right.
I don't even know who else did it.
Let's find out. Trey Murphy. That's another person. So Mac McClung, Trey Murphy, Jericho Sims, and Kenyon Martin Jr.
That's a name I know.
I know who he is because of his dad.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but his dad was a guy.
Yeah.
Like, this would be the equivalent of the NFL doing, like, I don't know, what's the equivalent to a dunk? Like a one-handed catch competition with practice squad guys. That's what this is. It's absurd. It's like Mac McClung's awesome. I like him. I'm happy he was in it. Like he deserves to be in the dunk contest because he's a legitimate, really good dunker. He was a street ball guy, if I'm not mistaken.
He had like mixtapes coming out of high school.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's what it was. It wasn't street ball. He is just a walking highlight reel.
Yeah.
So he's cool. But these other three guys, they're bums. You shouldn't have bums in the dunk contest unless they are legitimately like the best dunker in the NBA, which Mac McClung very well may be.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do it otherwise. Like you're never going to see something as cool as Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine going at it head to head because nobody wants to do it. You're never going to see LeBron in a dunk contest or John Morant in the dunk contest, Zion in the dunk contest. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like the dunk contest is cool. Even as somebody who's a casual basketball fan, I always watch the dunk contest. And you look back to like Michael Jordan, Nate Robinson, Dominique Wilkins, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, Vince Carter. I don't know how I didn't say Vince Carter fucking second. Jesus. But all these really, really awesome dunk contest performances. And now we got Jericho Sims.
Oh,
Like, it's such a shitty product. Like, I don't know if the answer is to provide some sort of incentive. Like, I know Mac McClung, it was big for him. He made 100 grand because that was his career total NBA earnings. But like for these other guys, that's nothing.
yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to make it like, you put money in their pocket. Maybe make it a charity thing. Each player gets to represent a charity because there's a lot of guys in the league who love charity. They'll do stuff for charity. Offer like, I don't know, a couple $100,000 to a charity of their choice if they win. Do the same thing for the 3-point contest. Do the same thing for the All-Star game. Do the same thing for the skills competition. It'll make more people want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect solution, but it'll definitely make more people want to do it. Or you can do the it's either baseball or hockey, where you get suspended if you don't participate in the All-Star game.
Oh my god.
I want to say it's hockey, but I could be wrong.
That definitely sounds like a hockey thing.
Yeah, they get like a 2-game suspension if they don't do it. And like I could see the NBA doing something like that too. I think that's extreme and kind of lame, but if it'll get guys to do it,
Yeah.
it's just sad how big of a joke the All-Star festivities have become.
Yeah, and it happened real quick too.
Oh, yeah.
You had like Carmelo and Kobe and like LeBron like going at it like 7 years ago. It's like 10 years ago now. Jesus.
Yeah.
Ooh. But like, yeah, they were going at it. And now it's like I don't even watch any of it anymore. I'm just like, oh, there's no games on. I'm kind of bored.
People were watching the XFL over the NBA All-Star game, man.
I don't blame them.
That's a thing that happened.
I don't blame them.
XFL games were cool, though. I didn't get to watch them, but I saw the comeback that the Battlehawks had with like 90 seconds left, down by 15, and they came back and won.
Oh, yeah. I saw that TikTok.
It's crazy. Yeah. But, yeah, the All-Star game's a joke. And you know what? We haven't even talked about the worst part of the All-Star game yet.
What would that be?
The fact that they honored Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Not only did they allow him to be a guest judge, but they honored him.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And, like, everybody was against it. It wasn't like this was some hot button topic where some people were like, oh, Malone's fine. Oh, Malone's a piece of shit. Everybody acknowledged that he sucks.
And he was still there.
Yeah, but the NBA was still like, guys, look, it's Karl Malone. I saw a tweet, and it was a picture of Malone and John Stockton sitting next to each other. And it was the comment said ultra racist versus ultra pedophile who wins. Because it's I shouldn't be laughing, but it's true. Like Karl Malone is a legitimate pedophile.
Yep.
For those who don't know, he was 20 years old and had a child with a 13-year-old girl who, that I don't know if you know this, but that kid went on to play in the NFL for like a year.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
Yeah, wasn't very good, but he still made it there.
In the NFL.
Yeah, and also John Stockton's racist and an anti-vaxxer and all that good stuff.
You could just tell. You could just look at him and know that.
John Stockton definitely called Michael Jordan slurs behind his back.
Not behind his back, in his face. Just sitting on the bench.
I don't know. I thought Jordan liked him. I thought him
know.
and Jordan were buddies. Or that they got along.
I don't think Jordan ever cared about anything like that, honestly.
Maybe. I don't know. He's still my GOAT, though.
I was going to say, he definitely just took that stuff on the chin. And
he took that stuff on the chin and then fucking embarrassed you for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Like, crossed you up and then hit a mid-range shot to take the title from you.
Right. And then after doing that, probably said even worse stuff back to you, which I don't know what would get much worse than calling somebody a slur, but I'm sure Jordan found a way because he's Michael fucking Jordan.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like we don't have to talk too much about Malone being there just because it kind of speaks for itself. But the pure ignorance of the NBA to make him a guest of honor is insane to me. Yeah. Like you got to have more social awareness than that. Even if you want to, no, I guess you can't do that. I was going to say, even if you want to say he's innocent because he's not, like it is a proven fact that he got the girl pregnant.
Yeah.
Like there's no redeeming that. There's no, oh, he's a changed man. I don't care. He impregnated a minor.
Yeah. It's absurd.
Yeah. That would be like, I don't know if there is an NFL equivalent of that. I can't think of any NFL players that have done stuff with minors. Lawrence Taylor did, allegedly, but that's not like full blown confirmed. That, you know, it would kind of be like the NFL having OJ host the NFL honors.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it would be like. And even then, I don't know if it would be as bad.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, it's OJ, all the shit with him, but like he did it. So, you know,
Yeah.
Either way, NBA sucks. They need to fix their all-star game. They need to learn how to read the room. And they need to just disown Karl Malone. Don't talk to him. Don't talk about him. Just be like, yeah, John Stockton and, well, I can't really claim John Stockton either. Just be like, yeah, the Jazz had a good duo, but we don't talk about him anymore. That's the end of it, if you ask me.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, the other judges were cool though. You had, fuck you, get LeBron off my face with NBA Screen Pass. You had Jamal Crawford was there, Dominique Wilkins was there, Harold Miner was there, and then Lisa Leslie was there. That's a really good group of judges.
Yep.
And then you fucked it up
with Karl Malone.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, the celebrity game kind of went hard this year.
I love the celebrity game. It's such a great idea. Such a great idea.
Yeah, like that's fun. They managed to make that fun because, granted, the celebrities go hard. They care. But like, yeah, DK Metcalf went off.
Yeah.
He had a double-double with 4 blocks.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that would be scary.
Yeah.
Imagine you're standing in the paint and you see DK Metcalf dribbling at you, and he just takes off and jams on you.
Yeah. Oh my god, the Miz hit a half-court shot to almost win.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They waved it off because I don't think they wanted to do overtime.
Yeah. So what were the rosters?
Quavo's got to be in there somewhere. He always is.
That's true. Nah, Calvin Johnson was there?
What?
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Okay. So we got Team Ryan, which is named after Ryan Smith, who is the owner of the Utah Jazz. So you've got him, Kane Brown, Corday, who I love. Corday's awesome. Diamond DeShields, who's a WNBA All-Star. Megatron, The Miz, Albert Pujol, Guillermo Rodriguez, so Jimmy Kimmel's Live's correspondent, Everett Osborne, and then Marcos Mion and Sinqua Walls. I don't know who those two people are. I'm going to be real with you, but, you know, they were there. And then you got Team Dwayne Wade with Nicky Jam, Simu Liu, which, did you see what they did to him?
No.
So you know who he is, right, Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
They did a celebrity look-alike cam, and they just picked a random Asian kid out of the audience and put him next to Simu, and they look nothing alike.
Yeah, that is. I did see a picture of that.
Bad.
Yeah, that's
oh my
crazy.
God, it was. Yeah, like again, how do you fuck that up that bad?
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Anyways, Jesser was on that team. Fuck that guy. He also sucks. Janelle Monáe was there. DK. 21 Savage. I'm not going to try to pronounce this guy's name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but the actor and NBA brand ambassador for India. And then a tennis player, a Puma athlete, Alex Toussaint. And then another WNBA All-Star. And I'm also scared to pronounce her name because I don't want to butcher it. Arike Ogunbowale. I feel bad. I butchered that. I'm very bad with names.
I feel bad.
Yeah, like I butchered that hard. But yeah, that was actually a pretty sick lineup. for the Celebrity All-Star games. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch the highlights for that. I want to see what Megatron pulled out. That's my goal. Let me get to the NBA All-Star Games, celebrity games one day.
Yeah, that's what I want too. I think that's what everybody wants.
That's real. Me and you, a dynamic duo. We'll pull up like Jordan and Pippen. Except you're actually good, and I'll probably just stand in the corner.
I'm not good compared to even the celebrities in that game.
I mean, you're a capable hooper.
Yeah, I could probably. I'm scoring 2 points.
That's two more than I'm scoring.
Give me 12 minutes on the court. I'm scoring.
I'll be like the Make-A-Wish kid out there. They put me on the court. I'm taking 4 shots, and they're gonna start rebounding it and giving it to me because they're gonna feel bad. No, I'll be like, have you ever seen the clip where somebody picked up Kevin Hart and he dunked?
Yeah, that's you.
I don't think anybody's picking me up, but I don't know, maybe.
DK could.
Put me on a team with Shaq, and we'll see what happens.
Oh my God.
I'll ride on Shaq's shoulders the whole game. That'd be terrifying.
You'd like hit your head on the rim constantly.
Nah, I just won't let Shaq play in the paint. We'll turn him into a perimeter player for that game, and then I'm safe. I'll be good. Could you imagine?
You're above the rim constantly.
I'll have him dribble the ball, hand it up to me, and then I'll just go like that. And then I'll score like 60. I'll drop 60 in the Celebrity All-Star game, literally riding on the shoulders of giants.
You get your 10-day contract right after.
Okay, so who's the Shaq equivalent that I'm riding around on their shoulders? Like Embiid? Yeah, am I a Sixer? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, you're probably Philadelphia 76er.
Because I couldn't go to Chicago. I'd probably break Vooch's back. He's a scrawny fella compared to other centers. Yeah, maybe Jokic. Jokic got a sturdy base.
I think he's too lazy for that, man.
That's true. Jokic should get tired halfway through.
They make a substitution, and instead of like Embiid getting subbed off,
it's just me getting subbed in on Embiid's shoulders.
He just walks over to you and like grabs your hand and like throws you up there.
Oh shit! I dropped my phone. That's a cheat code right there. Listen, everybody gangsta till Embiid pulls up with the 5'10" white boy on his shoulders.
Facts.
Oh man. So, speaking of basketball, we haven't talked about college basketball on here in a hot minute since UNC lost in the championship game, I believe, the national championship. And things have gone downhill since then. A lot. UNC's probably not going to make the tournament after being ranked number 1 coming into the season.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, it's the oh my God, I forgot his name. The white boy.
Oh my God.
With the big beard that I loved. I called him White Boy of the Year. Oh my God, he's playing ball in Australia right now. Oh my God, I'm a fake UNC fan.
White boy from UNC.
Oh my God.
Brady Manick. Brady
Manick, yeah. Since Manick went down, the team's gone to shit. They got some transfer to come in and play power forward, and he apparently hasn't been that great. The guards aren't shooting right. Baycott's getting double teamed and not doing anything, and the team's falling apart. By the way, I haven't actually watched UNC game this year. That's all going off my grandfather's analysis of the team, so shout out to my grandfather for actually watching the games. But they're a mess, and they're probably not going to make the tournament, and that makes me sad. It makes me really sad. Which leads us into some questions. Because the first question we got is from Mason, also known as the Sports Lion. And he says, how did Northwestern basketball become better than UNC? And I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. It's just we lost Brady Manick. He was the glue that held the team together.
Of course.
And now they're gone. They've fallen. They're reduced to atoms, quite frankly. All right, our next question. Andrew, unless you have any input there.
No, I was just gonna say that you botched the quote.
I know I did, okay? I'm fully aware I did. I wasn't actually going for the quote. I was just pulling that one part out, but now I feel stupid. So thank you.
I'm so sorry. I take
Yeah,
it back.
I bet you are
No,
sorry.
you said it
Yeah,
good.
you little rat.
You said it. Oh,
How-
wow.
Yeah, I went there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I said little. You're like 4 feet taller than me. If it was not apparent by the end of this episode, you will learn that I am not tall.
Yeah, he's 5 foot.
I'm like 5'11" on a good day.
You are. Then you're. I think you're lying to me because I'm 5'11".
Bullshit. You are over 6 foot.
I'm not over 6 foot.
That's a lie. You are over 6. You
I
are
haven't
over
grown.
6 foot.
If I was 6 feet tall, I'd be in the NBA. Then that's how I know I'm not 6 feet tall.
I don't think you'd be in the NBA yet. You have to graduate high school and go through 2 years of college.
Trust me.
You wouldn't be there yet. Okay. You're 6 feet tall.
Call me LeBron, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant.
There is one major difference between you and all 3 of the men you just named. I think I'd be calling you more like Mac McClung. There are 2 white guys on the top of my head, and I wasn't going to say the other one. You could be like Jason Williams. Be like Chris Kamen, the caveman. I think he was white.
Chris
he was
Kamen?
at least.
That's Birdman.
Right? What I call him? Yeah, it's. No, that's Chris Anderson. Birdman's Chris Anderson. Chris Kamen was the caveman. Yeah, they're both white though.
I'd also be 6 feet tall. LeBron's 6'8", Kevin Garnett's 6'11", Kobe's 6'6".
Yeah.
I'd be 6 foot and trash at basketball. So
It's also 2 of them are middle aged. You're not middle aged. You're a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
You're a young whippersnapper. You and your innocence. I'm about to be 20.
In the spring of my life.
Yeah. Enjoy your childhood while you can, because it'll die in an instant.
Oh my god.
I only said that because I saw somebody say that today, and I was like, "Dog, you were younger than me. I don't want to hear it."
Calm down.
But anyways, our next question comes from our boy Steven, also known as NFL Steven, and he wants us to rate his Subway order. Now, Andrew, I don't eat a lot of Subway. I'm going to be honest with you. Do you enjoy Subway?
I partake.
Okay, he partakes. So we're going to have you rate his Subway order then. Or more specifically, he wants to know if it's valid. So he's got a foot-long, grilled chicken foot-long. He gets artisan Italian bread, or I think. I don't know what that would be. Is that bread?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And then he gets it toasted with pepper jack, lettuce, pickles, jalapenos, Baja Chipotle, and black pepper. And then on the side, he gets a vitamin water and 2 double chocolate chip cookies. Is that a valid Subway order?
That's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay. So
I don't like pickles. I don't like pickles.
I don't like pickles either. I'm not a big pickle enjoyer.
Yeah, no pickles on that. That's a 10.
Honestly. Yeah, that's real. See, I'm pretty basic when it comes to sandwiches. Like if I'm not Subway particularly, but like if I'm getting a good hoagie, I'm real basic. I like me a ham and cheese, and that's it. Just some ham and cheese on that sandwich, and I'm good. I
like Italian subs and hoagies and stuff. I get them from Sheets. That's my order from Sheets.
We love Sheets. We love Sheets.
One-stop shop for
real. Best place on earth. Buc-ee's can sucky, okay? Because Sheets blows them out of the water. What's the other one? Wawa? That's the sound of them crying because Sheets is better. Yeah.
Bar.
Yeah, Sheets fucking solos. Okay. Subway? No way. Sheets better. They don't really compare, but like, it's still better. Listen, I got my birthday coming up on Wednesday. This is the fucking third time we've mentioned it. But I might get me some sheets for dinner. I might have to
Yep.
treat myself on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Telling you right now, I get.
Tweet
So
that
this is
out.
my order from Sheets, right? You get the little mac and cheese bites, little deep
Oh,
fried mac and cheese bites. This thing slap. And then I get. They have these chicken sliders, right? I get 3 of them. It's chicken with a little bit of American cheese, a strip of bacon, and a little bit of barbecue sauce. Goes hard. That's what I get from Sheets. And they get me like a cherry Pepsi.
oh,
Cherry Pepsi goes hard.
you got to tweet that out now.
That's my Sheets order. I'll tweet that out after the pod or after this airs. I'll tweet out my Sheets order. All right. All right, here we got a basketball question from our favorite fan. You remember the name?
Walter.
Walter White Seal. Yes, sir. He says, "What is the best possible playoff seeding for the OKC Thunder this season?"
So I don't know where they are right now. 1 second.
This is an Andrew question. Yeah, I just want to point
I'll
out
get there.
I tweeted that we were taking questions about anything, not just football this week. And everyone took that as an invitation to just ask us basketball questions. So,
oh boy.
have fun, bud.
I don't really know what that means, but like ideal seating.
Like, yeah,
number,
like what's their
number 1?
Can they make it to the 1 seed?
I think that anything can happen at this point. No. Probably not. Nuggets are 6 games ahead of anybody else in the West.
Okay.
I think. Well, they're in the plan right now.
Okay, so let's start there. Do they make the playoffs?
I say probably not, because other teams in the play-in are the Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors.
But Shea.
But Shea, though.
Even I know Shea good. Josh Giddey, NBA 2K My Career Legend.
They're 2 games behind the Pelicans, who are in 7th.
Okay.
So
as of right now, they're the 8th seed then.
No, they're the 10th seed.
Oh.
But the Warriors are like half a game ahead. Timberwolves are a game and a half ahead.
Oh, okay.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think ideal seeding is making the playoffs, just period.
That's real.
And they're in that spot right now. They're still a young team, so I don't think that their seeding really matters.
And they don't have Chet, right? He was out for the whole year.
Yeah.
The
seeding doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just as long as people get better, then yeah.
There you go. There you have it. Let's see. Do we have any more? I know we have more basketball questions. Where's another one? All right. Next one's from my boy Jake. Jake Talks Sports. He says, "How does Russ to the Clippers affect their ability to make a run at the chip this year, and what role should he play?"
Clippers. I don't know, man. The Clippers. I don't have any faith in the Clippers anymore. Even though they're 4th.
Really? They're that high?
They're that high.
I have not heard anybody talk about the Clippers.
Yeah, me neither. I think.
Interesting.
They have like the most, like, other than Kawhi, of course, they're the most like inconsistent team I've ever seen in my life, and it's because of like Paul George. Like, he's not very consistent at all. But then you're adding Russ, who has his like season-long ups and downs.
Yeah.
I don't really like. He's a good backup for Norman Powell and John Wall. But I don't know if it affects them that much, considering the fact that the real impact is their stars. Like, Kawhi's got to Kawhi's got to play and Paul George has got to play at his peak. You know.
Yeah. My ring light turned off, and when I turned it on, it was back on full blast.
Solid.
Yeah. But anyways, Russ, no bueno, right?
Russ, no impact.
Okay. He's just there.
Yeah.
So, real quick, speaking of point guard signing places, Patrick Beverly is a Bull.
Solid. Not a good replacement for Lonzo.
No.
I
And now
think
the Bulls got too many point guards.
Yeah.
They got him, they got Io, they got Goran Dragic. Or no, was it Goran that we signed? It was some washed up, or not washed, elderly
white man.
Well, he's not white. He's Hispanic.
I think
he's light. What's the word? Melanin deficient?
He's from Slovenia.
Oh,
I can't even say the city.
Oh, I didn't know he was Slovenian.
One of them ballers.
I don't know why I thought he was Hispanic. Am I an idiot?
I don't know. Are you thinking like Hito Turkoglu, man?
Hito's not Hispanic. He's definitely not Hispanic. If he's Hispanic, I'm gonna flip my lid, and then I'm never gonna comment on a player's race again.
Oh my god, he's from Istanbul. So
okay.
The names of these places is unbelievable. Bayrampaşa.
Yeah, they do have hard to pronounce names because we're all ignorant Americans and we don't learn about other cultures.
Ignorant, dumb Americans, man.
That's what I'm going to chalk that up to. Anyways, the point being, we got too many point guards, and now we have Patrick Beverly, who is a character. I don't know. Is he a locker room cancer or is he a hype guy? I always get him mixed up because I hear one from some places and then the other from other places.
I think it depends on who the players that are surrounding him are, like their characters, because like he's definitely intense.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And you have people that like enjoy that and get hype about that, and then you also have the people that fold. Like Horace Grant with Michael Jordan.
I'm going to be real. I think we might have more folders than risers here in Chicago. Or there in Chicago.
Like Vooch, Vooch is not a riser.
Zach's not a riser. DeMar is. Sometimes. Io will be.
Lonzo's a folder for sure.
I don't know. I think Lonzo would be a riser if he was there. He's just not there.
Yeah.
Drummond's there.
I think he's a folder for sure.
I don't know. I think Drummond's in the middle.
I think his ego's too big to be yelled at by Patrick.
Does Drummond have an ego? Is that a thing?
I think it was a thing where I don't know. I don't know why I think that, but I remember there being a tweet that I saw where he like said something absurd about his talent, and I was like, okay, dude, chillax. You're Andre Drummond.
Caruso's a riser for sure.
Yeah. Best player in the league.
For real. Caruso's the only goddamn Bull I like right now. No, I'm being serious. Him and P. Will. I like P. Will. And I like Io. There's 3. Yeah. Kobe, because he's a UNC guy. 4. That's it. Zach's pissed me off. I wish he got traded at the deadline. DeMar needs off my team. I've always hated Vooch. Lonzo, I mean, I like him when he's there, but he's never there. Drummond's just kind of there. Dragic, I guess I have to like him now. And who the hell else is on the team? Like, Javonte Green's still there. He's whatever. I think he's still there. I hate how when I look up Bulls roster, it just says Zach LaVine. Like, no, he's not the whole team.
No, they're not wrong.
Tony Bradley's there. I like Tony Bradley. He sucks, but he's my boy. God, who are some of these people?
That's
Malcolm
what
Hill's
I'm thinking.
there.
Dalen
Carlick
Terry.
Jones. Dalen Terry, I know. He's our rookie. I forgot about Marco. I kind of like Marco. He hasn't done anything, but I got faith in him. You know, he's got the dog in him. But yeah, this Bulls team is not one that inspires confidence. Now they're like, okay, let's just take the most intense bench player in basketball and put him on the team and see if he lights a fire under somebody's ass.
No.
If it's not apparent, I'm incredibly out of touch with this team. Take my opinions with a grain of salt at this point. I'm just kind of spewing bullshit like some guy would at a bar in Chicago when he watches one game a week at the bar, half drunk. Like that. That's kind of my stance on the Bulls right now.
That's very specific.
It's very specific, but also very accurate because I don't know shit. I just know Bulls bad, Zach needs traded, and Caruso epic. That's how I describe him. Anyways, back to questions. We got my boy AJ asking thoughts on Iowa. I don't know. I haven't gotten around to watching any Iowa players yet. I've been watching quarterbacks all week, and I'm starting on edge rushers tomorrow. So I don't know if Iowa has any big name edges in this class. I guess we'll find out, but I don't know yet. Maybe ask me here in like a month, and I'll have an answer for you. I know you really like Iowa. That's for sure. You tweet about them a lot. I see you. Let me name some Iowa players. Riley Moss, white corner, believe it or not. Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta. And that's all I know. I know 4. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Iowa. I don't know. We got a question from Melon. Changed his Twitter name. So now it's lined up with the Discord. If you're in my Discord, you know. Melon is a character for sure. He says, what team do you think can take a big step next year? I'm talking a team that was around 500 that could become a legitimate playoff threat. Well, let's see what teams are around 500 just offhand real quick. I think I have my answer already, but I want to make sure. So let's see here. Around 500, we've got teams like the Packers, the Patriots, the Bucks, the Commanders. And then under 500, or right around there, Falcons, Browns, Saints, Jets, Titans. Yeah, I don't want to go with a team that's over 500. So my original answer was going to be the Lions, because I think the Lions are going to be really good next year, especially with how weak the NFC North is going to be. But they went over 500. So I'm going to go with the Jets. Was really high on the Jets this past season. Their offense looked great. They're going to get, or not great, but guys looked good in it, which is confidence building. You know, it instills confidence. That's the word I was looking for. It instills confidence in a fan or a viewer, you know, from a journalism analytical standpoint, because you have guys there. You're getting guys back. Breece Hall will be healthy next year. You just got to worry about your quarterback situation. And if they end up with Rodgers, they end up with Derek Carr. Hell, even if they end up with like Ryan Tannehill, I think they could be a good team. The AFC East is going to be interesting next year. Buffalo is probably going to take a step back. Miami, depending on what Tua does, could be interesting. So I think the Jets will take a big step next year. I think we'll be talking about the Jets in a much, much different light than we have in years past. But if not them, you know, like I said, the Lions are probably my pick and probably the safest pick just because of how good that roster is to begin with. And they're going to get extra guys, and guys are going to get another year in the system. And, you know, you're getting guys back for the full season and whatnot. Next question we got from my boy Valente once again. He's commented, I think, on every one of these. He said, what moves do you see the Saints making to get under the cap and in a comfortable spot? So let's see who all the Saints are paying right now. Because I know, I mean, they are very much over the cap. I know for a fact they're going to have to cut Michael Thomas. That's the big one. getting rid of Michael Thomas will save them a good chunk of change, even though they're still going to have to eat a decent bit. Yeah, so if they cut Michael Thomas, they save $14 million, which is big. You're going to have to eat $12 million in dead cap, but again, that's fine. Like, you kind of need to do it. Other than that, they just restructured Cesar's Ruiz. I just saw that. Some of these bigger contracts, like you look at guys like Cameron Jordan, I don't know if they'd be willing to cut him. I don't know if that would necessarily be the right move, but you save $21 million if you do it. Marshawn Lattimore's not going anywhere. Ryan Ramczyk's not going anywhere. Maybe Alvin Kamara, if things go south with his legal stuff, he could get cut. That would save you about $15 million. Jameis Winston, that saves you about $7 million. He's probably gone. Demario Davis would save you a good amount of money. I don't know if they cut him though. I don't know. It's tough for them. Marcus Davenport leaves, which is big. He'll save you a decent chunk of change. I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about that one. I would say Davenport leaving and Michael Thomas getting cut are going to be the two biggest things, and probably like Jameis Winston. And then you can consider some of the other guys. I know it kind of sucks to hear, especially because they're guys that have been with the team for a long time, like Cam Jordan, for example. But the Saints are in a tough spot. They got to blow it up. Like they have no other choice. There's no retooling. There's no kicking the can down the road. You got to blow it up. So we'll have to see. Next question comes from the PI podcast and says, I'm curious as to your expectations of the Bears this upcoming season. As a Jaguars fan from the outside looking in, I would be happy if their season was like ours, where it started off bad but competitive, and then they were playing great football halfway through. And then he also says, and also your thoughts on Eberflus and all this weird trade Justin Fields drama on Twitter. First of all, Justin Fields isn't going anywhere. I've been thinking about making a TikTok on this, but like I feel like feeding into it is stupid. I've talked about it on Twitter a little bit. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't want to go anywhere. The Bears are committed to him. Any of the drama or rumors you're hearing is just an effective smokescreen from Ryan Poles. He's got the number 1 overall pick. He wants to build up interest in, drive the price of it up. So if teams think he wants a quarterback, if teams think the Texans want a quarterback, the Colts want a quarterback, the Panthers want a quarterback, the Raiders want a quarterback, whoever, then it drives up the price of that pick, and he's going to get more for it. That's the whole plan here. Justin Fields is the quarterback next year, and we're going to be trading down from 1. That's the end goal. So all this bullshit, like odds coming out that Fields is only plus 300 to play for the Bears next year, that's ridiculous. He's going to be a Bear next year. There's no doubt in my mind about it. If they trade him away, they are a moron or they are moronic, the organization as a whole. Because after watching all of the quarterbacks in this year's class, I can tell you right now, I don't think a single one of them is a better prospect coming out than Justin Fields. Bryce Young is the only one that comes close, and he might be like 5'7". So he's not better. Like if Bryce Young measures in at 6 foot, is actually a 6 foot quarterback like they claim he is, then sure. He's probably a better prospect than Fields, but I'm still not trading Fields to take him because that hurts the rest of your team. It hurts your timeline and all this other crap, and I just don't think it's worth it. As for Matt Eberflus, I like him a lot. The big thing with the Bears this past season, I've talked about this a little bit, is the fact that we were one of the least penalized teams in football. We played with heart. We played really good teams close despite not having a ton of talent, and that's all coaching. That's all Eberflus working these guys and getting the most out of them, and that is huge. I'm a big fan of player coaches. He's not really a player's coach. He's just somebody that players want to play for because of his high-effort philosophies and the way he coaches. He's not going to play around with somebody that doesn't want to be out there, is loafing around, is taking snaps off. He's not doing that. He'll bench you. He'll make you run in practice, whatever it takes. He'll get you to play, and I love that out of a coach. Sure, his first year, we were the worst team in football, but, again, he had no talent to work with on the defensive side of the ball, and the guys that were good got hurt or, were inconsistent because of the guys around him. He was not in a good situation. I saw somebody the other day call him the worst returning head coach in football, and I think that's absolutely absurd. He's a good head coach. And that'll show next year when the Bears have a smidge of talent and he's able to take this team to like right around 500 at worst. Which leads you into the big question here. What do I think about the Bears next season? Obviously, it all depends on how these next couple months go. You've got more cap space than anybody else. You've got the number 1 overall pick. You know, the world's your oyster. If Ryan Poles can play this correctly, he can address some big-time needs in free agency like defensive tackle or edge, the offensive line, maybe receiver, whatever. If he can do all that and then go into the draft, trade down, acquire a haul of picks this year and next, and draft well, then obviously the Bears are going to be a pretty good football team. Now, he can fuck all this up and we could suck again. I don't think that's very likely. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to surround Justin Fields with talent. He's going to take a big leap, maybe not to the extent of Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence is a better football player, but, you know, a sizable leap to the point where he's a respected quarterback. The defense will be better, and the Bears might slip into the playoffs next year as a wild card team. I don't know how far they'll go, but the NFC sucks. The NFC's weak, and the NFC North is really weak too, especially if the Vikings move some stuff around, which is very, very likely as well. Andrew, you haven't talked, so I guess I'll ask, do you have any expectations for the Bears or anything you think is going to happen?
I mean, considering their division sucks, I think their only real competition, considering the Vikings make the moves that you just said, make moves,
Right.
Then their only competition is the Lions, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about this, like not this time next year, but like at the beginning of next season, they're going to be in like the same type of spot where their rosters have improved, players have had more experience in the systems that they're learning. And I definitely have more faith in Justin Fields than I do in Jared Goff to lead a team. So
valid.
I think I'm seeing Lions clinch the division, but Bears get a wild card or something like that.
That's valid. Now, I will say, for all that to happen, obviously some things are going to have to go in our favor, especially like Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay, which I think is basically a foregone conclusion at this point. Although I don't want to jump the shark on that because I've been burned by Aaron Rodgers leaving being a foregone conclusion before. So I guess we'll see. But if he leaves and the Vikings the Vikings are going to have to make moves to clear up cap space to extend some guys. You got Justin Jefferson's going to want paid. And you've got some aging guys maybe don't want to be around, maybe don't want to stick around on that team after what they dealt with last year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. You know, our friend of the show, the Geek Slays, him and I have talked about it quite a bit, and he's pretty much convinced that the Vikings are going to sell everybody off. Everybody from Harrison Smith to Adam Thielen to Eric Kendricks to Zadarius Smith. You got to figure out what you're doing with Danielle Hunter. Like I said, Jetta's needs paid, and he's going to get a fucking bag. Dalvin Cook could be on his way out. Alexander Madison's leaving. You know, there's a lot that's going to happen with Minnesota. There's going to be a lot of turnover there. So if that doesn't work out the way they want it to, Green Bay rides with Jordan Love, who I'm not very confident in, and Chicago does what they need to do. They can absolutely not only compete for a wild card, but maybe even compete for the division, depending on how Justin Fields shapes up and what kind of moves are made. Now, when I say they're going to win the division, it would be at like 10-7, 11-6. You know, 11-6 might even be generous. You know, it'll be like a middle of the pack team where you go in, maybe win a game in the playoffs. Kind of like who's a good comparison from this year? Jacksonville. Jacksonville's the perfect comparison. That would be the Bears. Ideally, we're Jacksonville next year, which is ironic considering you, the guy who asked the question. I would assume Ian from PI Podcasters, who was on the Jaguars team preview that we did over the summer last year. Which, by the way, big announcement. We're doing those again. Those are happening. Hopefully, a bit more organized and clearer, and with fewer people. Because I loved talking to everybody last year, but it got overwhelming. There were too many people. So instead of having like 5 guys on an episode like I did for a few teams, we're probably going to stick to like 1 or 2. Hopefully including Andrew this time around, but maybe not because he's a busy boy.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. But he's going to talk about the Giants this time around.
For sure.
In the Giants episode.
Yeah,
That
because
is
I actually care about football this summer, not unlike last summer.
right, right. Which, speaking of the Giants, because I think that's all the questions. Is it? It is. Yeah. So, speaking of the Giants, Andrew, have you heard the rumor about Daniel Jones yet?
He wants like 45 mil a
He
year.
wants 45 million a year.
Get him out of here.
Not to toot my own horn, but I was pretty proud of the TikTok I made about it today. Have you seen it?
No.
It was corny, but I thought it was funny. It was I did my normal video, like the Giants want to do blah blah blah, so let's talk about it, right? And then I said, instead of giving you guys my thoughts, I think I'm just gonna let 19 or the an R&B classic from 1992 do the talking. It was like, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never. Yeah. And I thought that was funny. It was corny as shit, but I'm a corny
Funny.
fella. I think that
Yeah.
stuff's funny.
Yeah.
We're both. I think we can both enjoy some cornball activities. Personally, I'm probably a little cornier, but we're white guys. We enjoy some corny shit.
Come on now.
But yeah, Daniel Jones wanting $45 million a year. Pretending for a second that happens, it never will. There's zero chance in hell that Daniel Jones gets $45 million a year, and he might not even be asking for that. It's a rumor. Rumors are rumors. So let's say hypothetically he is asking for it and the Giants give it to him. Not only are they idiots, but they can't pay Saquon Barkley. He's gone. And he's hopefully rocking this logo next year. He's gone. And then the QB market dies. Because if Daniel Jones is getting $45 million a year, how much money do you think Lamar Jackson's going to want? How much money do you think Joe Burrow's going to want? Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, all these different quarterbacks that are about to get paid. If Danny Dimes gets $45 million, how much do you think they want?
So much money.
You're going to have Joe Burrow asking for triple digits.
Yep.
He's going to be asking for, what would that be, 9 figures? Yeah. $100 million. That'll be 9 figures. And
why does he
just
want
imagine.
45 mil? I don't understand that.
Maybe homie's just trying to get the bag.
He thinks he deserves that? Like, that's absurd.
I don't know. I mean, he switched his agent and everything. Like I said, it's a rumor. It might not be true. I'm kind of leaning towards it not being true just because of how absurd that is. But
yeah,
maybe it is true. I don't know. But that's an absurd number from Daniel Jones. All right. So that's all the questions we have. We've covered everything we need to talk about. Oh, what is this? Oh, people are mad at me. Okay, I have a question for you real quick before we close out. This is a question just for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about Ice Spice?
I don't really compared to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I don't really listen to her music. But I think that she is better than them in terms of, I guess not.
No. Don't let me sway your opinion.
No, in terms of quality of music, I think that she's better than them. But I also think that it's just it's like a copy and paste of what was once Nicki Minaj and is now Ice Spice.
Look, okay, me personally, I can't fucking stand Ice Spice. I cannot stand Ice Spice. I don't know what it is. I don't think she's a great rapper. Like, she's fine. Kind of like you said, she's just another copy and paste. I don't get the hype, so to speak. That's what the kids say nowadays when they find somebody attractive and you don't. I don't get the hype. And I just don't like her. I think she's really, really annoying. And I think her music's annoying. And I think her fan base is even worse. Is he frozen? He's frozen. We have lost Andrew. That boy is frozen. All right, he's texting me something. Let's find out. Are you lagging too? Oh, he gone. But I'm asking Andrew the final question. That'll be like the comment down below, and then I'll get his answer, and I'll ask it. All right. So the question is, what is your guilty pleasure movie? That's going to be our outro question today. Andrew's trying to figure his out. Mine is all three Pitch Perfect movies. I love those movies. They're great. And Andrew's is apparently Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which I don't think is a guilty pleasure movie. I think that movie's peak cinema, but we'll roll with it. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. I apologize for the weird ending with pauses and whatnot, but technology. I'm not even looking at the camera. There's the camera. I was looking over to the side because I'm used to doing that with Andrew. Anyways, make sure you comment down below. Let us know what your guilty pleasure movie is. And to everyone out there, I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you deserve it.